Hello and welcome to my contribution to Capaldi Month, a celebration of Peter Capaldi's 3 or 4 year run, depending on 2016. A one I kinda miss to this day, what with Series 8 and Series 10 being some really good entertainment, and Series 9 being Series 9. Anyways, I thought for this month would be the best time for me to return to the world of Doctor Who video games. Last time I was here I spoke about the adventure games, the 2010 to 2011 online video games starring Matt Smith and his gang. And when did I talk about these? 3 years ago? Anyways, I thought it was probably high time for this month I'd have a look at the Doctor Who levels from the 2015 LEGO game, LEGO Dimensions. So, Matt Smith regenerated to Peter Capaldi in 2013, which meant that all the other material of the show had to follow suit, including Doctor Who's video games. Kinda. Legacy was the sole exception, having only released in late 2013, which allowed it for more of a leeway to keep Matt Smith as the current Doctor until after Series 8 had finished, which meant they could release their first Capaldi update. 2015 ended up seeing the release of the 19th licensed LEGO game, LEGO Dimensions, which saw developer Traveller's Tales adopt the Toys to Life control method, which other series Skylanders and Disney Infinity had adopted, allowing for more interactivity between the characters and the player. LEGO Dimensions is a combination of many different franchises coming together to place their characters into the LEGO games, with Doctor Who being placed as one of the first major non-WB franchises to join the game, with a level in the story mode entitled The Dalek Adventure. But Doctor Who also received a level/character pack in November 2015, entitled The Dalek Extermination of Earth, which was a DLC level which included extra side quests, with many other Doctor Who characters being involved. Peter Capaldi and Jenna Coleman were involved as the current TARDIS crew, with Nicholas Briggs as the voice of the Daleks and Cybermen. Supporting cast for the DLC had Julian Bleach, Neve McIntosh, Dan Starkey, and John Barrowman reprise all their roles. And reprising their roles from Archive Audio were all the previous Doctor actors prior to 2015, and John Leeson as K9. Continuing from the main game's previous level, Batman, Wellstar and Gandalf the Grey end up travelling through the LEGO Dimension. The Doctor of course rescues them to bring them towards a cybership orbiting around Trenzalore, as the trio are all on their way to find another piece of the Keystone. They are directed that they need to save whatever happened in the main story of the game. So, Doctor Who wise, I can say this is a fun adventure. It's a shame that the Doctor couldn't be part of the main gang in this adventure, as I would feel that he would bring a bit of a difference to the main treasure situation. The 12th Doctor as a character doesn't feel himself out of character. It does feel like a mix between his Series 9 and 10 personas, a bit more relaxed, but also bonkers of a side of himself that cares about the situation, but doesn't need to fully care about the other characters, because they can rely on themselves. The story as itself is more on the basic but referential side, but with this game it definitely works. Of course we're not going to go for a midnight or 73 yards, so a simpler story works well to succumb the journey the characters do take and the foes that they have to face along the way. The main gameplay to LEGO Dimensions is basically the light action, more puzzle based affair that the series has been doing since its origins in 2005's LEGO Star Wars. You switch between the two characters and fix what needs to be fixed, however this time you use the USB portal that you get of the game, where you can use your free starter pack of heroes of Batman, Wildstar and Gandalf to fix the problems that occur away in your journey. My favourite moment of the level would have to be the first cutscene between the gang and the Doctor. It fully introduces the characters to the Doctor Who aspects without piling on loads and loads of exposition. It includes some great humour and a good performance from Capaldi, who helps the rest of the characters in starting their journey. My least favourite moment would have to be when you save Clara as an optional side quest. Basically she doesn't say anything until after the rescue, and then we get that dreaded line from Series 7B. I don't need to actually play it, trust me, I'm thankful that this stopped getting referenced after this game. Overall, I find the Dalek adventure to be a fun little adventure that, despite not having the Doctor in fully, still works. It works in the overall story of the game as a separate adventure as itself, and I'm glad the developers were eager enough to allow people who only had the base game itself a little taste of it into what Doctor Who could bring to the game itself. It's London in the future. The Daleks are back and attacking on the commander Davros to convert the future humans into new Daleks. Alerted by this fact, the Doctor decides he has to put a shutdown to all Dalek generators to stop this from happening, listing a long journey from multiple versions of Earth to the homeworld of the Daleks, Skaro. I found the writing to be very enjoyable. Like the main games level, you have a lot more of the Doctor Who characters occupying the gameplay and the cutscenes, so you have a lot more of Pete Capaldi's 12th Doctor either in the cutscenes, talking in the levels, or as an idol/character switching quotes, which I would say is a plus for this game. The rest of the writing is mostly in the cutscenes or in the brief conversations you have with other characters in the gameplay. In the cutscenes we have more goofier sides of the Daleks, which makes sense regarding the story, and it also allows Nicholas Briggs to have some more fun with them. And Julian Bleach back as Davros, who portrays him more as a calmer version of his Journey's End persona, slightly like how he did in Destination Scarrow, but more Michael Wisher-like. In gameplay we get some cameos for characters in this level, like Strax from the Paternoster Gang and Missy. Strax is his usual fun self, although I wouldn't say there's any laugh out loud moments like with his previous appearances, but Missy, I'd say she has more of a mischievous side to her, like a time-travelling trickster, or perhaps more of a time-travelling Joker. Gameplay in this level is basically like the main game's Who level, except you'll be using the Doctor's abilities more in tandem, because he's the character you bought to get the pack. So basically enjoy using a lot of the sonic screwdriver. Oh, and the TARDIS, because trust me, you'll need to hop around different time zones. Most of these trips are used for puzzles that can't be solved in the future, so you have to go back into the past to make sure they can be fixed for the future. One of these time-traveling puzzles I can remember was the one that you had to change the construction of a window in the past, so that you could have it to solve the puzzle in the future. If I had to choose a best moment from the level, it would be the part in Victorian London. It has a nice Christmassy feel with the snow, which makes a nice weather change from the fire and brimstone of the future London and Scarrow parts of the level. Along with that, you get some references to Talons. You have to fight the killer snowman from the Christmas special, which actually makes them seem like a proper threat compared to how they acted in the special. And this is where you get to find Strax, which I was happy for him being included here, as I said before in the writing section. For a worst moment in the level, I'd have to say it would be the final boss battle with Davros. It does feel like a bit of a disappointment after everything you've done to get to fight him. I feel like they could have used more of the time travel elements of the TARDIS, like one phase of the boss fight could be in Victorian London, then in the present, then in the future, and then you could finish him off in Scarrow. Then I probably would have found it more interesting and more of a challenge. But as it is, it's a final location letdown compared to the journey that you've had to take towards it. Overall, I think that the Dalek Extermination of Earth was a great attempt at translating the show into a LEGO game and not really feeling out of place, unlike some of the other levels that you get to play in that game. I'd say it's a really good level to try out. It reminded me a lot of City of the Daleks, and showing that if given the right development team behind it, you can have something fun, interesting, and most of all enjoyable from a show that may not have as much violence as some of the other popular shows that were included into this game, but can still give you a good challenge nevertheless. In conclusion, LEGO Dimensions definitely offered a good use of the Doctor Who license, giving it 2 great levels, numerous hub worlds, and a lot of characters that you get to interact with, including some of those which I wasn't able to mention in the 2 levels that I actually had to look at. It is a shame that the main game didn't offer some more DLC packages after 2017, as I feel like it would have been a great home for Whittaker's Doctor, who would have seemed right at home with all the other characters. But then again, she did end up getting some of her own games that were catered towards her era down the line, so perhaps Dimensions was better kept to Capaldi's era. Anyways, enjoy the rest of Capaldi Month. Make sure you research the bootstrap paradox, don't hit any diamond walls, and don't end up on any black hole orbiting spaceships. And I guess I will be seeing you, my friends.